Hello, my friends. Welcome back to yet another interesting activity in the YByte Python curriculum available at www.ybyte.in. This activity is called Welcome Message. Many times when we visit a new website, probably let's say download a new app or maybe go to a new portal, the service provider wants us to register ourselves with the service. So for example, we provide, some credentials, let's say our name, address, maybe some upload some documents and so on. And if everything goes well with respect to the validation, which means the service does some kind of validation on us, maybe perhaps contacts a remote server and so on, if everything goes well, we are onboarded, we get a welcome message. Now, this is exactly what motivates our, let's say, next activity, this welcome message activity, where we are going to write code to onboard a new user. So we are basically like a developer who's writing some code to onboard a new user. This code, like I said, is special in two ways. Number one, it needs to interact with the user. Obviously, it needs to collect information from the user, take some inputs. It also possibly needs to interact with some kind of a backend server, say a file system and so on and so forth, or maybe for some validation, some database and so on. Now, whenever this happens, this poses some very interesting requirements because things may not go as we thought they would. For example, the user may not give us the data that we are looking for. Might make mistakes in the way the data is entered. Sometimes these mistakes can even potentially crash the system. Now, by the way, we are not talking of malicious users here. Even genuine, well-meaning users may end up giving inputs which can potentially crash the system. Likewise, whenever we contact an external server, lots of things can happen. For example, the server may not respond in time. For example, our link to the server may be broken, or a file that we are trying to read probably is no longer available because somebody, by mistake removed it or something like that. In other words, things can go wrong, but at the same time, we want to keep it quite flexible for our user. Now, these are conflicting requirements because we want the code to be flexible, easy and intuitive, obviously, for a user, but also be carefully designed so that the codes do not crash. Obviously, as we do this, we want to guide our user with very clear messages. And so that the whole process is, let's say, not very confusing. We know that in reality, many times these requirements are not really met all that well, especially with respect to guiding the users, because the messages can tend to be very, very confusing. Now, this project is clearly a take on this real world situation that we encounter so often in so many different places. We will see how we can use different Python commands to keep our code flexible as well as safe, as well as we try to sort of understand a big picture view of what kind of goes on in, let's say, a system of this sort. Our premise is that we are onboarding a Python programmer onto our system. We just, create a few functions for this person to, let's say, be able to use, because the Python programmer, we assume that this person can work from the command line and provide us the information that we are looking for. These are very flexible functions. And then we call some functions to validate this information. And if all goes well, we onboard the user. Now, the steps that we'll follow is that we'll expect our player to first get a short code by providing some basic information about yourself. For example, let's say a few words that describe you and so on. Then we'll obtain this name strength, so tell us about your name. We'll tell you how strong your name is. Again, this is just for fun. We will call a validate function, which will validate all the information that we have been collecting. And if all goes well, we will get a welcome message. Now, this is going to be fun. If you are smart and you have a bit of luck on your side, you will surely get through, but don't assume you will certainly get through. In fact, this process, like I said, has to be made fun because things will even sometimes go wrong. So we'll see how things are handled that way. Let's first see this working. It says, welcome to the programmer's den. I hear you have been learning Python. Guess you can use command line to create your own welcome kit. So in the DIY style, let's say, okay, look, this process is simple. Create a short code. Check your name strength and then validate. So let's say I create a short code. SC is equal to, let's say, so let's say I try to create a short code. I've already written this thing down. Notice I have short code index is 0. I didn't really know what index should be, but so I just try 0 should be okay. Then I provide a few words that describe me. So for example, brave, smart, heroic, great, courageous. I can add any number of words. This is quite interesting. I can add any number of inputs over here. Then finally, I have this prefix called unique, suffix called one and only, as this instruction said, prefix and suffix. And when I click enter, it just tells, hope you managed to pass this stage. Well, I hope so too. Next, I check the name strength of my name by saying, okay, look, my name is Vineet, my surname is Srivastava, my and also known as bombastic. Now, obviously, you can be more creative here. But again, notice I am giving these arguments in a very special manner. I am doing what is called keyword arguments. So name is Vineet, surname is this, and so on. When I do this, okay, again, hopefully I pass this stage. Next, I go and say plus, well, please validate for me my name and my, let's say, shortcode and my name string. I provide this information to the validate function. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it says looking good so far, sending for deeper validation. It opens connection to a remote server. I get some obscure looking things. I'm not sure what this is, but whatever it is, I get some numbers, some things coming out. It says something deeply wrong, validation failed, closing connection to a remote server. So I wasn't so lucky, but I presume that if you are, if you give some other inputs, probably on a better day, you will eventually get through. Now let's try this process once again. This time I'll intentionally make some mistakes. Since I know how the code works from inside. But let's say instead of 0, I gave 100 over here. Notice it says indexing is going wrong, string index is out of range. So something is going wrong here. Hope you managed to pass this. Let's hope so too. Let's say I go to my name string. When I do, for example, validate, in fact, it tells me one of the earlier steps has gone wrong, validation failed. So I know that one of the two has gone wrong, possibly is the SC. So I just go and let's say fix my SC, let's say once again, but this time around I give one more, let's say super as as an input. Remember, I can give any number of arguments to this function, very flexible. Let's see what happens. Okay, so again something is deeply wrong, I couldn't get through. But the important point is this, that even though I had some errors, the function in fact did not crash. It came out of it gracefully, and that's a very important part of this exercise. Now, as we do this project, we are in fact going to learn a huge variety of Python concepts, starting with functions that can accept a variable number of arguments. For example, just now we saw our shortcode. It could get any number, you could give it any number of words as inputs and it will work fine. We will also learn what is called kwargs or keyword arguments, which is the case, for example, in our name string function where we are saying name is this, surname is this. Those are keywords we are providing. We will learn about tuples. Tuples are quite interesting. We'll see how they are similar, how they're different from lists. A big part of this project will be about exception handling. We will take a deep dive into the statements of try, except, else, and finally we'll try to understand how, why and how we use these. In this process, we learn about the different exceptions in Python and how they are handled. We learn about the raise statement, the assert statement, and in general, and this is kind of like the interesting part of this, that we'll get a good feel of real world software of this nature. Like I said, this scenario is actually very common. The functions that we are taking, the scenario that we are taking is unique to us. In fact, you can make it a lot more interesting by changing the functions, by asking more information, by making these errors, by handling these errors even more creatively, and so on. In fact, I feel this activity is really unique because it brings together a lot of Python concepts, puts them together in a cohesive manner, and converts them all into an activity that we can develop, that we can learn from, and that gives us a realistic feel of what goes on, let's say, in scenarios of this sort. Yeah, I hope you'll find this journey interesting. We will do this in a step-by-step manner, highlighting how the different concepts are applied in a scenario like this. In general, if you think learning programming by building activities of this sort is something that you enjoy, do look at our website www.ybyte.in, because that is how we learn Python programming. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.